My husband passed away over 3 years ago in a car accident. Up until a couple of nights ago, I heard 3 supple knocks. When I checked the peephole, tell me why my husband, who died over 3 years ago, was stood outside dripping wet. Story time. I've been married to my husband for over 20 years. We lived a normal life. We were a happy couple, just like any normal couples. But then one day, on his way to work, weather was very bad, condition was really bad, but he still had to go into work. Unfortunately, my husband slid off the road and he crashed right into this massive great tree. I was called in to come and identify his body. When I got there, I was so shaken. I was so, scared. I didn't even know what to expect. I didn't know what I was going to see when I checked. Eventually, I gathered the courage and I checked his body. And I saw my husband, his face was scared. This made me feel what he felt. His last moments were really bad. Fast forward, life has been going on okay. Of course, I'm still grieving my late husband. Of course, things aren't going well for me. Of course, I miss him. Of course, he has always been in my life. We have always done everything together. And then now he's taken away from me. But then I kept seeing little hints and things happening in my home, as if my husband were leaving these clues to tell me that he's okay. Up until a couple of nights ago, we had a very big rainstorm. The wind was really bad. And then I heard 3 supple knocks on my front door. At first, I thought maybe it's just the raindrops that's hitting on the door. Maybe it's just the wind, because I wasn't expecting anyone at that time of the night. Then the knock came again, 3 supple knocks. I checked the time and it was the exact same time that my husband usually arrives back home after work. I was so scared. I didn't know who was out there. I didn't know what to see when I checked that door. Eventually, I gathered the courage and I checked the peephole. Tell me why my husband, who passed away over 3 years ago, was stood out there drenching wet. I staggered back in fear. I went and I checked the peephole again before I could actually open that peephole. My husband said, "Open the door. Why are you always taking too long to open the door?" And this is what my husband used to tell me when he was alive. Anytime he comes back from work, if I took long to open the door, this is what he would tell me. So I was so shocked to see my husband and to hear his voice and to repeat exact same thing he used to do when he was alive. Before I knew it, the door flung open. I did not touch that door. And he was inside the house. He was like gliding through, but then there were muddy prints after him. When he walked past me, he stopped, glared at me directly in the eyes, and he asked